Debt free people aren't that way by accident. They have a specific mindset and habits about money, taking a responsible and realistic mindset and approach to their financial planning. Eliminating negative emotions and attitudes towards money should be the first step forward. In this video, Rabindranath, MD, Ladder of Wealth Management Private Limited, tells us about the best practices and healthy habits which will go a long way in ensuring and getting you financial freedom. What kind of a mindset do debt free people possess? In other words, what money habits go a long way in ensuring financial freedom?
When you are talking about financial freedom, it can have two meanings. One is a situation where somebody has enough wealth so that even if they were not working, they will be able to live off this wealth for the rest of their life. That is what is a true financial freedom. And in the limited sense, we may say that okay, if somebody doesn't have debt, let's say that doesn't owe anything to anybody, then whatever they are earning, they can basically spend that money and whatever, and therefore they have a financial freedom. I would say that having debt is not bad actually, and because just imagine if you were not able to take a home loan, 90% of this country won't be able to buy a home ever. Okay, and which basically means that an aspiration that you could have satisfied today, you will not be able to fulfill that aspiration for next 15-20 years. And whereas that home loan allows you to fulfill that lifestyle aspiration of yours and then pay off that money whatever you owe to the bank over next 10, 15, 20 years. And you also kind of assume in that as the years go by, your career will progress further, your income levels will shoot up, and therefore what is being a little difficult today in terms of paying that installment may become much easier 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the line. So while financial freedom is important, it is also important that you take care of your lifestyle goals. But having said that, indebtedness which you cannot service regularly is not a good thing.
We all have impulses and impulse spending, controlling which is easier said than done. What measures and checks can one put in place to avoid this?
Yeah, that's actually true. So because of the digital age, the kind of exposure that we have for various goods and services is amazing, and most of us end up doing impulse buying. A very clear example of this is the way companies and products are stalking you these days. So you go and let's say look at a TV for maybe 5 seconds on Amazon, and that TV company as well as Amazon starts chasing you everywhere you go on the internet. And you keep getting the same reminder again and again that okay, you had looked at the TV, why don't you come and buy it? So the kind of attraction that you have which can promote impulse purchases is very very high today, and therefore it is a good thing if we can basically keep that impulse buying disciplined. My go-to method has been to kind of bucket the income that I have into three different packets or buckets. There's one and savings or investment bucket, which is sacrosanct. Every month, if if I have decided I want to save an X amount of money, that money has to go there. The second is your expense bucket, which is your monthly expenses. Again, they are basically more or less fixed, and you have to meet those expenses on a monthly basis. And the third bucket could be your lifestyle bucket. Any money which is there in lifestyle bucket, that can be utilized for impulse purchases. So let me just give you an example. Let's say you have 10,000 rupees every month in that lifestyle bucket, and you want to buy a big television which may cost you 8,000 rupees of EMI every month for next maybe 2 years. Now because you have 10,000 rupees in lifestyle bucket, you can actually afford that 8,000 rupees of impulse purchase. But if you did not have that, the sufficient money, then you need not basically go for that impulse. So this is actually this helps in restraining you, because you know that okay, I have only this much money in my pocket for this month for impulse purchases or anything which is lifestyle oriented.
What advice would you like to give someone who has just obtained financial freedom so that he or she can maintain and retain it?
It's a very good question, and rarely do people, in their early part of their lives, attain financial freedom. And by this, I mean true financial freedom, which basically means that even if they did not have a job and if they did not take further debt, they can live off the money that they have accumulated. Now, that's a very, very good state to be in, that you have sufficient money to pay for whatever expenses that you may have in the future years to come. And therefore, it's very important that you maintain that. Now, this basically requires good wealth management practices. It's all about wealth management now, because you have certain degree of wealth. Now, it is therefore, you need to start with the right kind of asset allocation, which basically means how much money is going into equity, how much in fixed income, how much in real estate, and that asset allocation should be decided based on the risk appetite that you have. If you are a low risk investor, having a lot of real estate in your portfolio is not good, because real estate is one, chunky, and second, it can also be risky. If you invested in a project which does not come up, you may end up losing a bulk of your investments or wealth, and which basically will rob away your financial freedom from you. The second thing is obviously diversification within each asset class, and therefore you need to have the right kind of products and sufficient number of products, because if you are concentrated, again volatility can take away a large portion of your wealth, and that money can basically be lost permanently. I would always suggest that if you have attained financial freedom, the next thing that you should do is find a good wealth manager who can be with you in thick and thin, and who can guide you through this wealth management over the rest of the years that you have. Because without that, you will end up or taking poor investment decisions, and which may not yield you the desired results. I say that because when I am taking investment decisions as an individual independently, I may get influenced by things which I should not. Okay, I may end up taking investment decisions which are far riskier than what I can sustain. I can end up concentrating my portfolio into a few investment decisions. I may not be able to monitor those investments well on an ongoing basis. So financial management or wealth management requires a certain set of skills and a lot of information and ability to analyze that information. Generally, therefore, a good wealth manager who has all these things will be able to help you much better than what you can do independently.
We would like to leave you some additional tips to conclude. Always automate debt payments and compulsory savings. This will ensure that these important payments are never forgotten and missed. And finally, start funneling any or all extra income into debt repayments or savings and become goal driven. Here's wishing you financial independence and great health. Stay safe and stay tuned with us for more on financial planning.